Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. I'm Emmanuel, I'm an airline pilot, and today we are going to fly the famous IGS-13 approach in Hong Kong Kai Tak, also called the checkerboard approach. The Kai Tak airport has just recently been added to Microsoft Flight Simulator by Microsoft, and the only problem with that is that they did not actually add any of the navigation aids required. So we still have quite some issues with the raw data. Seeing over here, frequency 12.3 would be the Chung Chao VOR, that is only a DME in the simulator nowadays. So we have to use the co-located NDB, which we have tuned over here. Also, it is worth noting that the IGS itself does not have a DME. And of course we have no procedure whatsoever in our FMS, so we have to fly the entire approach raw data, which does provide for a little bit more fun though. So let's have a look into the actual approach that we are going to fly, and we actually have two charts for this one. The first one is the chart that we have available over here, and as we can see, the plan is to leave Chung Chao VOR on a radial 270 until 7 DME, which is called waypoint Golf, and then we make a right-hand turn onto direct to a Shallow Van. With a maximum speed of 180 knots, we leave that on 045 outbound to join the checkerboard. Cross the outer marker at 1731, and latest by the middle marker we need to start our turn towards the runway. Our minimum is going to be 675 feet. That much about the approach as we have it in the chart. The only problem is we need to have a look at the other chart as well, because we only have the Chung Chao NDB. So be aware, we are going to use the NDB for that to track outbound until 7 DME from the Chung Chao VOR, and then we'll make a right-hand turn and continue the approach as known. Okay, that basically completes the look at the procedure we are about to fly, so let's dive right into it. We're about to approach Chung Chao VOR, so we are going to start our speed reduction towards 210, which is maximum recommended. And then you can see the needle is falling right now, so as soon as it is approximately a beam, we will pass the beam the station maybe a mile towards the south now, which is totally acceptable. And then we'll put the tail of the needle right up to the 270 degrees track line. Passing a beam the station, we can start our descent towards an altitude of 6,000 feet. Let's go to level change and start getting our aircraft down, and we'll also turn towards 270 degrees right now. The weather in Hong Kong is very good today as well. We have a low pressure area, you can see our altimeter setting over there, and we have some storms going through. The wind is coming from 090-30 knots on the ground, and we have some rain in the area as well. So overall, as you can see, some very interesting conditions there for flying. So this definitely promises to become a challenging approach today. We're approaching 7 DME, let's go flaps 1 and start the speed reduction towards 180 knots here. So 7 DME, right turn towards the Shallow Vang NDB, and we are going to set that active on ADF number 1. ADF number 2 is inoperative in our aircraft today. And on this sector we can now descend to an altitude of 4,500 feet, so let's go ahead and do that. So switching over to the ILS over here, which in this case is the IGS actually. Aircraft diving down a little bit there, but alt star is active. Okay. Okay, we are, well, not yet overflying the NDB. Not sure what the needle just did there. There are quite a lot of mountains in the area of Hong Kong. That's the reason why the autopilot struggles currently to maintain the altitude. With such a strong wind, just look over here, the wind is currently at 60 knots, blowing over those mountains. That's really giving the autopilot a challenge up here. You can see how the speed just dropped quite a bit. So we're approaching the NDB. Let's give it another 5 degrees to the right. It looks like we will be flying slightly to the west of the Charlot 1 NDB. Give it another 5 degrees to correct there. Localizer mode is armed, and we should start receiving the glide slope as well any second. Currently, nothing outside yet. Stuck in the weather. And we have localizer capture. So that's 088 track set. Then we should start receiving our glide slope any moment now. Auto throttle is still fighting to keep the speed. Might just give it a couple of knots extra, just to avoid going under that target speed all the time. Glide slope alive. Land is armed. And both autopilots in. So, this time we actually have to rely on the outer marker for our altitude checks, as we do not have a DME available. You can see the DME up here reads exactly 0. We have glide slope capture. (8,000 feet set for the missed approach). The autopilot isn't doing anything, it seems. HOTAS reacting. That took quite a while. So we'll try to configure the airplane by the standard Airbus schedule, which means at 2,000 feet above our destination field elevation. The field is located at 15 feet above the sea level, so at roughly 2,000 feet on the altimeter we can start configuring our aircraft. Which, by the way, now has recaptured the localizer and the glide slope. So that is reassuring, at least. We have a wet runway with that wind. We're going to use auto brakes medium in order to lose the speed as quickly as possible. At 3,000 feet right now. On the outside we can see the first bit of land coming inside. From the inside, from the cockpit though, nothing inside quite yet. Once again, turbulence due to the wind going over the mountains here. Okay, let's give the plane a little bit of time to stabilize. We'll just start configuring now. Flaps 15. And we see the land. Finally. Gear down. So approach the app 136 plus the wind corrections on final, you can give me 150 knots for the final. That should provide sufficient error margin for the auto throttle as well. Looks like there's a shower going through right over the city right now. Okay, flaps 20 and flaps 30. So, landing checklist. We're approaching the outer marker. 2,000 feet, stabilized. Landing checklist. Landing gear down, auto brakes medium, anti-skid checked, slats flaps, 30-40, spoilers, armed, landing checklist complete. What a weather over here, what a weather, and still 48 knots of headwind. Okay, our runway is located over there. And the checkerboard is just up there, with our lead-in lights slowly coming into view. So the trick on this approach is, you can just fly slightly inside of the lead-in light, but don't overshoot them. Look at the ground speed, just 110 knots. But that, what is headwind right now, is going to become a 45-degree crosswind in a few moments as we turn towards the final. That is going to make this final approach a very interesting one. Also note how tall the buildings are over here. This is one of the, if not actually the most densely populated areas in the world. Okay, we're approaching minimum. We have everything in sight. There's the checkerboard, just over there. We start entering some of the ground turbulence. Look how we just lost some airspeed. Minimum, continue. Okay, we're over the middle marker. Starting the right-hand turn.
400.
Now comes the difficult task. There's our puppy, we are bang on. But we gotta make sure to keep it like that. Keep descending. Okay, at least we're back on the poppies.
Sync rate.
Come on, it's not that bad.
100. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10, 5.
Speed brake up. Thrust goes normal. $100 knots. 80 knots. Manual brakes. And welcome to Kai Tak Airport. I hope you enjoyed flying with us today, and I'm looking forward to see you all on the next flight. For now, enjoy your stay in Hong Kong, and I am really looking forward to see you all again on the next one. As always, leave a like, comment and subscribe, and if you really want to support the channel, you can do so through the Buy Me Coffee link, which you can find in the video description below. For now, thank you very much for joining, and I look forward to see you all again on the next one very soon.